Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about one of the MDX useful function in your real world, okay, which is nothing but add calculated members. So most of you already know that what are the calculated members. So if not, then I'll quickly take you through what are the calculated members and what are the base measures in the cube. So let me go to this adventure works in Visual Studio. And here you can see all your base measure. So under the AdventureWorks cube, okay. So whatever you see the measures, and here all these measures we call it base measures. Okay, they will be under the each measure group. Okay, but whereas the calculated measures, they will appear here under the calculation tab. So in here you can see there are the calculation measures. Okay, again these calculation measures are depending on the base measures, okay, and these measures also will be part of the measures parent hierarchy group, okay. So whatever you see here from here to here, and also from here to here, all these are the calculated measures in the cube. Now, in let's say in the real-time scenario, okay, so you want to know which are my all measures created in the cube, okay, right? So how do you get it? So it's difficult to go and browse from here, right? So each one you drag it on the right side, it will be like a tedious task, right? So instead of that, what we can do, you can use the add calculated member. So here it will help you very friendly, okay. So add calculated members, okay. So always remember that whenever you write any function statement is correct, then it will turn to the red, okay. The red means that function exists in the queue, okay. So now I want to fetch the all my uh, calculated measures from the cube, okay. So measures and then members. Okay, so when you write this add calculated members function, the measures, the cube will consider measures also like one of the dimension. Okay, that's how it works on the cube. So now if I write columns from my adventure works, right? So now here, what will happen? So if I execute this, then now here it will bring all cube measures. Okay, let me copy these measures into the Excel file. Okay, so these are my list of measures, 51 measures that fetched from the add calculated measure. Okay, so in here you have the base measures. All these are like till here, all these are the base measures. I'll color it in the yellow, and then remaining these measures are will be 21 measures will be the calculated measure, right? So now I want to fetch, instead of base measure, now I want to fetch only the calculated measure. How can I do that? So again, you can extend this add calculated members function. So what I do now here, so I'll exclude. Okay, so I'll exclude again measure start members. Now the add calculated member is having the intelligence enough to keep only the calculated measure whenever you run this statement, okay. So basically the behavior of that calculated member is whenever you write it, by default it will fetch base measures as well as the calculated measure. In case if you want to exclude the base measure, you need to write this statement like this, okay. So now if you run this statement, then you can take all these measures and the results are fetched, right? Now let me see whether it's fetched only the calculated measures or not. Okay, so now here what I do, I will copy this and then transpose here. Okay, so now you can see here all these are my calculated measures, and in fact if you want to cross verify, then we can go back to the Visual Studio, and then so you can see here all these are the calculated measure that you have it in the cube. Okay, so now the next scenario will be like if you want, okay, in your scenario you want all the measures from the cube including the calculated members and base measure, but you want to exclude the specific measure. Okay, so now how do we do that? Okay, so simply what you can do, whichever the measure you don't want, so you can directly go ahead and exclude that. So in my scenario, I want to exclude the internet sales amount. Then what I do in this statement, I write like this. Okay, so first I use the add calculated members and then measure start members and then minus of my internet sales amount measure. Now if I execute this statement, now it will be excluded the that particular internet sales. Apart from that, we'll fetch the everything from the cube. Okay, now let me validate here. So sorry, not here. I'll copy paste here. Then I take these list of measures and then here I transpose. Now you see. So it started from the order quantity. Then if you scroll down, then again it's included the calculated measures. Now, what will be the scenario if you want to further extend and exclude one more measure? I mean, along with internet sales, you also want to exclude other measure. Maybe I'll take it in the order from here. So you want to exclude the order quantity. Okay, so now you can simply have it here. You need to write measure start and then your measure name. So now I want to exclude the internet sales and internet order quantity from all my list, which I'm fetching from the cube. Okay, so now if I copy this results to the Excel, now let's see what will happen. Okay, if I take this list of measures and transpose in here, then let's see what magic will happen. Okay, paste. Now you see I got it's got excluded the internet sales amount and order quantity. Okay, and then also keep the calculated members. Okay, but this is good so far, right? So now so the requirement is like pretty much different. Okay, maybe the client asks you to hey, I want all calculated members, all calculated measures from the cube, and he also want to keep the internet sales and sales amount and internet order quantity. So now the expectation is I need to get these two measures and then my calculated measures from the cube. Okay, so now this is how we need to write. So what we need to mention, add calculated member, because add calculated members by default it will fetch the calculated members from the cube, right? Along with that I want to bring these two measures. Then if you write this way, then it will fetch the your 21 calculated members and then your order quantity, I mean order quantity and sales amount as well. Okay, so now let's validate whether it's fetched correctly or not. Okay, so I copied these measures list in the Excel and then I paste it here. Probably I'll paste it here. So, okay, here I'll paste it, transpose. That's it. Voila. So you can see here I have the my 21 calculated measures and then I also have the internet sales amount. Okay, so this is how the add calculated members function works in the cube. Okay, so that's all for now. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.